Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Towering TBR. So I've acquired some books recently. I have been trying to be very choosy with the books that I'm bringing into my physical library, but I won a couple of giveaways, I used up some book credits, and I also had a birthday. So I have acquired 10 books that I'm going to talk about. The first giveaway I won from Goodreads was In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. This has been on BookTube everywhere. It is set during World War I, and these two men go to fight, and they also fall in love. I've heard it's going to break my heart, so I'm going to wait till I'm in a particularly good mood to read such a sad book, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And then, surprisingly, just 3 weeks later, I won a second Goodreads giveaway, and that was The Great Reclamation by Rachel Heng. This is also a war novel set in Singapore, and our protagonist, I think, has some sort of magical ability. So it's a little bit historical fiction, and I think a little bit magical realism. I know so little about other countries that I was very excited to get to learn more about Singapore's history and hopefully enjoy a really great book. So I also decided that I wanted to use up the last of my Book of the Month credits because I really don't read quite a lot of their choices, and so it takes a while for me to use my credits. So I've decided to cash them out. The first I purchased was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I've read this author before. I read her book, Part of Your World. I'll link it in the cards and in the description below, but I remember saying that I really liked her writing romance stories because they were much more realistic. They didn't, seem to harp on the whole miscommunication, which is a big pet peeve for me. So in this book, we have this guy posting on the forum Reddit, in the subreddit, Am I the Asshole? And he tells a story about basically how he has this curse and how as soon as he breaks up with his partner, that partner finds their soulmate and their true love, and he is just cursed to not find his soulmate. And so a woman responds and says, hey, I have the same curse too. They make a plan to date for a month and then break up to find their soulmates. However, this is a romance, and you can probably figure out what happens. I really liked the real problems that they had to manage, and I think she's a really good writer, and I will pick up more. Also, there were some very, very minor side characters from that first book, Part of Your World, and so if you like books that, exist in the same world and have some overlapping companion characters, this is the only one I've read. And if my April wrap-up is up, I will link it. And if it isn't, I will link it when it is. The other choice I made from Book of the Month is The Ministry of Time by Kaylee Ann Bradley. I have seen this everywhere. Apparently, it's a workplace rom-com with time travel. I love time travel as a trope in a book, and this just sounds really exciting. I am hoping my library gets more audio copies so I can get to this soon. And lastly, I got 6 books for my birthday. This chunker here, The Will of the Many by James Islington. I've also seen this a ton on BookTube. I think the first BookTuber that really convinced me to pick it up was Emily over at Books with Emily Fox. This is a fantasy, and there is a magical setting, like a magical school setting, and it looks like somebody's trying to infiltrate and possibly do vengeful things. It sounds really fascinating. I know that this is going to be a trilogy, though, and I am terrible at waiting for sequels to come out. So I'm wondering if I should wait a little bit longer, or if I should just jump on and enjoy it now and just wait with all of the other people who are excited. Another chunker that I got was The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. It doesn't look as thick as the other one, but this is 800 pages. I recently read Burnham Wood by the same author. I will link that video in the cards and in the description. But I just absolutely loved it. It was 5 stars, and I'm hoping that this will do it too. It's a historical fiction novel set in New Zealand, and there are mysteries and secrets that people have to uncover, and I've heard it's really thrilling and page-turnery, so very, very excited. So this book is stepping a little bit outside my comfort zone as I'm trying to explore more cozy fantasy. This is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. According to the blurb, it is about a woman who searches a way to end her family's curse. solve her mother's disappearance, and fall in love. I'm really excited about cozy fantasy, and I'm really hoping that this hits the spot. If you've read this book, definitely share your thoughts down below. What did you think of it? Because I haven't heard a ton about this, but I'm really excited to get to it. I also got The Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. Le Guin. If you're new, I recently read Ursula K. Le Guin for the first time. Absolutely loved it. Loved Left Hand of Darkness. I will link the videos. And so I asked Becca, who also loves Ursula K. Le Guin over at Read Becca, where I should go next. And she suggested this. This is a novella that is set kind of in the same universe, but like on a different planet. And I think they have to deal with invaders. Did I ask really what it was about? No, I didn't. I was like, Ursula K. Le Guin, sure, I'll pick it up. She writes so insightfully and really gives me a lot to chew on. And so I'm really excited to get to this as well. Speaking of booktubers, I follow Jen Campbell. I'll link her as well, and mostly for her disability recommendations. And she recently recommended Some of Us Just Fall on Nature and Not Getting Better by Polly Atkin. This is apparently part memoir, part nature writing. The author has a chronic illness, EDS, and, she writes about how her life is affected by that. I've heard her writing is absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, this doesn't have an audiobook yet in the United States. And if you're new, I also have chronic illnesses, including migraines, which affect my ability to read print. I usually use audiobooks as accommodation. So I am really hoping we get an audiobook for this soon because I cannot wait to read and hopefully relate to her story. Lastly, I picked up The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. This is a lesbian classic from 1928, just in time for Pride Month. I have heard that this is an incredibly depressing book. The title kind of hints at it, right? I've also tentatively agreed to buddy read this with Jennifer over at Jennifer Loves Books. So, hey, I've got it now whenever you want to read it. No pressure. Those are the 10 books that I have acquired recently. Tell me, have you acquired anything good lately? Do you want to read any of these books? Let's have a chat down in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.